careful. Are you ready? Okay.
Thank you.
So,
Put the brakes on.
oh.
Move it down. Good. Right. Okay.
Okay, well, there have been several things that have been said about you, Grandpa, and they're all true, of course. And but I have very different memories of you, I'd say, than anybody else. As the only girl and as the second youngest person in this direct family, I clearly haven't had as much time if you count up the years with you, but nevertheless, my memories are as significant and even more to me. So people have mentioned your Caesar salad, of course, which I never got to taste, but I am a fan of Caesar salad, so I bet that was good. But I do know that you love food, and I know that it has passed on to the family. So even though I never got to taste your Caesar salad, I have been at the dinner table with you ever since, and have been able to taste the other foods together. So although I don't have that same per se taste in my mouth of the Caesar salad, I have the taste of all the other foods together. Second, what I do remember very well is the coin collection that you gave me, and I still have it in my drawer, all 50 states, in every single one of the coins. And I remember every single time we would come together, you'd bring me a new coin of a new state, and I always, of course, I'm pretty sure the first one must have been Virginia. And then every single day, every single time we got together, I got to wait to see what the next state you were going to bring me was. And of course, every time my friends came to my house, I got to show them my coin collection, which none of my friends ever had, ever dreamed of having, ever knew what it was, probably. So, of course, I spent tons and tons of days just looking at the different pictures on the back of each state and what they signified and why this state chose this and why this state chose that. And to this day, coins do remain significant to me, and as you know, I'm a referee, and every single time I referee and we're doing the coin toss, I always flip it over, see what state's on the back. It's normally Virginia, because we're in Virginia. But I also ask and make sure that these kids know who is on the front of our coin, and most of the time, they say George Washington, but, you know, they're young, so they're still learning. But anyway, that's become a significant part of my life, too, so the coins have really affected me. And another part is your honesty, and I'm sure I remember that a couple of people talked about your honesty and how honest you are and how you like to share your opinion, and that's a great attribute, and I don't have, not all the time, the courage to actually say what I'm thinking about, and that's a great thing to do because you don't want to put on a face, a superficial opinion. You want to say what's really what you're thinking. And actually, I have a memory of this. It wasn't too long ago, it was, I'd say a year ago. You came to one of my soccer games, and I didn't even know you were there. It was a surprise for me. And so my dad brought me to the car, and he's like, oh, look who's here, it's Grandpa. And I was like, hey, Grandpa, how'd you like the soccer game? And you told me right there that you don't like soccer. It didn't hurt my feelings. I was glad that you were able to tell me the truth. And then, so I said, oh, well, I know he likes basketball, so next time we're not bringing him to my soccer game, we're bringing him to my basketball game. And not only was that beneficial to me, but I know it was beneficial to you because I wouldn't have to drag you to another thing that you don't want to watch. So it was a good thing for both of us. Then I have some other notes that I took. I believe your love for olives. Now, I know not many people would think of you and then think of olives, but every single time you would come to our house and ask for a martini, my mom loved to make martinis for you, you'd always have to have that olive in your drink. And I remember that being the first thing you attacked when you came to the martini. It wasn't taking a nice long gulp of the martini, it was eating the olive. And I don't like olives, but that...
And you're Portuguese.
And I'm Portuguese, exactly. So does it make much sense? No. But there we go. That's some assimilation because you were able to assimilate to Portuguese culture. Or maybe you just have some Portuguese in you of the love of olives. But yes, that was another significant thing. And actually this was mentioned by Daniel, and I'm not copying his idea. I had this idea before I saw his video. But the stocks that you used to give us. I remember opening my birthday cards every single year with that beautiful note written in Grandma's handwriting. I also remember Grandma always saying, I'd always ask, so why doesn't Grandpa write these letters? And then Grandma would say, oh, his handwriting's horrendous. And that's just...
It's gotten worse.
That just brings me to another point, which is that I guess not you, my dad is so much like you are. And I see so many similarities, not only in physical appearance, but in expressions, in likes, in sayings, and everything. My dad has inherited so much from you, and that also comes in the handwriting, because he has the exact, I've never seen your handwriting, but my dad's handwriting is horrible. And so I know Grandma's is lovely, so maybe it did come from you. Maybe it didn't. Maybe he skipped a generation. I don't know if your handwriting is good or not. But, and it's also passed on to my younger brother too. So it's, the things that can pass on are very interesting. And yes, it is. Yes, the stocks. So I never exactly knew what they meant. I would read this letter, and then I'd get this stock at the end. And I was very used to, at that age, getting dolls, getting soccer balls, getting whatever else 6-year-old girls get. But you guys always gave me stocks. And to be honest, every time I looked at that, I was so disappointed. But let me tell you something.
I gave you dolls too.
Yes, you did, Grandma. I'm not discrediting that at all. This is just, the stocks are particularly important to me. I realize now that after understanding exactly what they are, how knowledgeable that was to bring into all your grandchildren's lives. Because not only were you giving them very good gifts that maybe they didn't understand, but you were teaching them what it was at such an early age. And not that, many of us have gone into the economists,
Yeah. Sorry,
had to get it right in my head. Economists, but it still is of course always going to be useful in our lives. And these are only very few things. And although I'm at a disadvantage from being a little younger, I also believe that it's an advantage. And it's also an advantage that I got to see everyone's videos. So, but yeah, although this is kind of on the spot, and I'd love to say other things, there are a lot of people watching me. So I love you, Grandpa, and happy 90th.
Oh,